Oh my god. This is such a mess. What's up, everybody? I'm just about to finish packing. Not really. It's still a mess here. But we are gonna leave for a 3-week Norway vacation tomorrow. And we are in a rush because we haven't really packed that much. And we need to get going really early tomorrow. So my idea was to just quickly show you all the things we're bringing along, and it might be helpful for you as well. So I'm just gonna show you what we are gonna bring for our camping supplies, all the things we need to sleep outdoors and make food and such, and some essentials when you go camping. And of course all the camera equipment we're gonna bring, because it's quite a lot, and we're gonna do some pretty cool, interesting things and surprising things, so you need to check that out later. But for now, let's check out the gear. First off, let's start with some basics. Sleeping mat, his and hers, important for a comfortable night outdoors. Next, a tent and sleeping bags. I recommend bringing a down sleeping bag, especially if you're planning to camp in northern Norway. We also have some super comfortable pillows, but if you want to save weight, you can use your own clothing as a pillow as well. Bring a Ziploc bag with convenient items, such as a band-aid, painkillers, blister care, etc. A Ziploc bag with toilet paper is also convenient, as it will help your paper staying dry. Bring some sports tape and a trekking towel. You never know when these will come in handy. I'm a big coffee nerd, so I brought some high quality coffee beans, an AeroPress with filters and a manual grinder. This ensures fresh coffee every day and helps me get a real boost every morning. Next, our gas-powered camping stove, which has all the gear needed to make a good meal. Gas. A BarbEco portable barbecue grill, which is handy for those late night dinners where you want that juicy barbecue flavor. A Primus power lighter, which will work in every weather condition. It handles wind very good. A traditional fire starter used as a fail-safe backup. Moving on, we have our faithful wooden spoon used for cooking. We also have his and hers wooden plate, durable and eco-friendly. We also bring 2 cool mugs. A thermos is useful for keeping hot water in between hikes and ensures that coffee and tea is easily prepared without much work. We brought a hammock and a rope for those lazy days. Next up is a must. Light compressible down jackets. Trust me, we use this all the time, even during night. A lightweight jacket takes no space at all and will serve you good in cold Norwegian conditions. Cutlery for 2 persons. Shades, important to keep your eyes comfortable in the land of the midnight sun. A lantern, mostly for making our camp spot cozy, providing light, and it also serves as a prop for photos. You can also use LED light chains for a better low-weight option. A head torch always comes in handy. A power bank. Bring a chunky one to ensure you never run out of power, especially if you, like me, have a lot of electronics with you. And finally, a good quality wool blanket. We used it as another insulating layer underneath our sleeping mats in the tent. It also comes in handy on chilly mornings when you're eating breakfast outside. Yeah, I almost forgot. Bring your own reusable water bottles. Water in Norway is safe to drink straight from the tap, and filling up on ice-cold mountain water in the Norwegian creeks and rivers is the very best. Okay, let's continue with our camera gear. As well as documenting our travels, we are doing some client work on this trip, so we're bringing a lot of gear. First off is our backup camera, a Sony A7R III with a Sigma 18-35 f1.8 attached. Our main camera is a Sony A7R III with a 16-35 f4 lens, used to film this video. Moving on, we have a Sony 90mm macro lens and a Sony 55mm 1.8 prime lens. We also bring a GoPro, mostly for underwater shots. This next item can be a life hack for a road trip. It's a USB charger for cars, and it got 2 ports to let your devices charge quickly while driving. Next up is the MacBook Pro multi-adapter, which lets us connect memory cards, etc.
etc. to our laptop. A dust blower is always handy to clean your sensor in between lens changes, and lazy portable hard drives are used to safely store and back up all our footage. We got 2 of them, a total of 6 terabytes. Up next is the trusty DJI Mavic Pro with 2 extra batteries and the remote controller. I always bring this bag too, where I store spare batteries, USB cables, extra memory cards, etc. Of course, we need a laptop, and we use a MacBook Pro 15-inch touch bar version, and we also bring an iPad Pro, which I really like to use for drone flying, as I find it easier to accurately frame my shots. Next is a Peak Design wrist wrap, which I really like, mainly because of the quick release function, making it easy to put on and off. This is an Edelkrone Slider 1 Pro, a small motorized slider which I program using an app on my phone. Very useful for cinematic B-roll, time lapses and so on. These are spare batteries for the slider, though I rarely need to swap batteries. Next is an Aperture portable LED light, which can be mounted on the camera for some convenient lighting when it gets dark. For audio, I bring a Zoom H1N recorder and a lav mic from Røde. I bring along this pouch containing different types of filters, mainly ND and polarizing filters. This is a small HD focus, a bright external monitor, which I mainly use for gimbal work, but it too can easily be mounted on the camera. This battery keeps it powered for a very long time. Next is my go-to microphone, a Røde VideoMicro with a dead cat to keep wind noise to a minimum. This Ziploc bag contains different HDMI cables for the monitor and other spare parts. I always bring a cleaning cloth and filters for my drone. I also bring extra propellers in case of a crash. I like having a classic watch, so this comes along too, as well as my Bose Quiet Comfort, which I use to check my audio while I shoot. It's also perfect for blocking out sound when traveling or editing in a busy environment. Usually I bring 2 tripods, a GorillaPod from Joby and a lightweight travel tripod from Manfrotto. The final item is this Mosa Air Pelican case, storing my gimbal and all the accessories needed to properly set it up for shooting. All of these things ensure a fairly lightweight and efficient setup to cover the needs we have for the job we're doing during the course of this summer. Of course, with all this gear comes a whole lot of chargers. Not a pretty sight, but really a necessity. I highly recommend bringing a car charger for the DJI Mavic Pro if you happen to have one. I just love how fast it's able to charge up batteries as we're driving along on the highway. And by the way, if you're wondering about the electrical sockets that's used in Norway, this is the correct kind.
So that concludes our packing list for this summer's Norway road trip. There's one more thing. We're bringing along this cute puppy. Stay tuned to see how that goes. And one thing I didn't touch too much on is the clothing, and I do recommend you bring some water and windproof clothing, because the Norwegian weather is really unpredictable even during summer.
Meanwhile in Norway.
So some good clothing and a nice pair of hiking boots, because you do want to get to all those places with all the magnificent scenery. So that's a must, okay? Hope this video was helpful, and see you next time. It's even worse now. Oh my god.